Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of At the Bar, hosted by your favorite podcast personality, Ryan Carter. This week, there was a lot of steps I went through trying to pick a drink. First, Stuart had written in, one of our avid podcast listeners and supporters, and an old friend of mine, and he had given me a suggestion to do the Mr. Bali High drink. Which is another one of those rum-based drinks that combines rum, coffee liqueur, and then tropical fruit juices. For some reason, that flavor combination just is not my favorite. So I did make it to try it out and decided that that was not what I was going to do this week. However, Tina also gave us a recommendation to do the caramel apple hot toddy. Unfortunately, in March in Virginia, it's very hard to find apple cider unless you go to a farmer's market or a little farm out in the country, and none of those were close by. So unfortunately, could not do that. We'll put that on the books for early fall. But courtesy of Tina, I received several new cocktail books this weekend, and I found a pleasant cocktail in there to make called the Caribbean Cruise. Now, as you can imagine, trying to find any information on a cocktail called the Caribbean Cruise is very challenging. So I have the ingredients in the recipe, but I don't have any history on it because there's about 50 different drinks called the Caribbean Cruise. And if you Google that, most of what you're going to get is Caribbean Cruise Lines trying to sell you a ticket. So unfortunately, I don't have the history on the drink, but I can confirm it is a fantastic drink. It is a wonderful flavor, and since spring has sprung in Virginia, it felt like the right time to make that. So let's go on over to the bar and see how to do that. Okay, so for the Caribbean Cruise, you're going to want to start in a shaker glass with ice. Now, I modified the quantities of alcohol that I'm putting in here, as we usually do, to roughly double. I'll post the original quantities and what I did today, just so you can see both. So if you want to make either one, you can. It's really up to you. These drinks taste relatively similar, depending on how much alcohol you put in them. I went ahead and doubled or more than doubled everything that's going in here, but you could do whatever you'd like. So we're going to start out with 2 ounces of vodka, and our good old buddy Smirnoff is going to be joining us today for that. Then we're going to do an ounce of light rum. Gotta love combining those clear liquors. You're always in for a treat if you're combining liquor. Right, got that. Then we're going to do a ½ ounce of coconut rum to really bring home that island flavor. And then, once we get that in there, we're going to do 4 ounces of pineapple juice, just to make sure that we're not slamming ourselves with just liquor, because that is never a great flavor for anybody. Alright, so once you get all of that in your shaker, go ahead and, as we do, shake it real good. And then you're going to want to strain that into your glass that's ½ to 3/4 full of ice. Oh, that's a really pretty kind of pale yellow color. So bring that in there, and that gets you almost all the way up to the top. Beautiful. And then, to add a little bit of extra color, we're going to go ahead and put a splash of Grenadine in there. And that'll filter its way on down. You don't want to put too much because Grenadine is a very strong sugary flavor, but as you can see, it kind of filters its way down in there. And then we're going to just you can put whatever you want on top, really. The recommendation is a cherry or two, or a pineapple wedge, or a little umbrella. It's really up to you what you want to put in there. But that looks really fun. It looks really pretty. If I had a little umbrella, I probably would have put that in there. You're probably going to want to avoid a straw on this one because that Grenadine just filters down to the bottom. So unless you plan on mixing it, if you put a straw in there, you're just going to really get sugar. So let's see how this tastes. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Even though I increased the amount of alcohol that I put in there, because I increased the pineapple juice as well, you don't really taste any of the liquor. It really just tastes like a fruity pineapple drink. Definitely a wonderful beverage to sip on a warm sunny day like today. So yeah, cheers guys. I hope you enjoy that, and tune in next week for some more fun.